Well, hello to this latest TELE webinar session. My name is Daniel. I'm with TELE for more than 5 years now. I have an engineering background and I'm overlooking the North American territory. Today with me I have Adam.
Hello, dear audience. Welcome to our webinar. Today I'm very happy to guide you through our short and simple webinar about this little device. My name is Adam and I represent TELE in the sales and customer service department. I have an economical and technical background and I'm gonna tell you why this device is the right choice for you.
Yeah, so absolutely. Now, you know, we're not here for a long time, but for a good time. So today you'll get to know what our new load alternator and timer relay is all about. We'll take you through the whole thing in about 20 to 30 minutes. In case there are some questions that might arise in the meantime, feel free to utilize that Q&A tool in that bar up there within Zoom. And we'll also let you know how the product works, what's so special about it, and of course, where it's used, right? So speaking of this new alternating relay and timer relay here, it's a pretty unique feature that we have, which we developed with our Canadian partner a few months back in the day, where they were using this bulky item. It's a little outdated. It has a single voltage and single functionalities where we combined all the TELE know-how, where we provide more functionality, more voltage ranges in a more compact housing with an extended, basically also certification range. So that was a collaboration with our partner in Canada. And now, Adam, let us know what's so special about this new pump and load alternating relay.
Okay, let me see. Okay, so first of all, this is the E1ZMLA. The E stands for that it is a part of the Enya series.
Right.
It is in a slim chassis designed for convenient DIN rail mounting. And this device is a combination of a multifunctional timing relay and a load alternator.
Sweet.
So this device has also a wide range control and supply voltage, and it has a flat surface here in the front. So there are no outstanding switches that you can accidentally change your settings like on this device here. This is an outstanding switch. We have a flat front. So you have also the switches here where you can choose your timer settings or the function you want to use. Okay, so this device was developed by TELE to maximize functions for less money.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, okay, before we head up to the next slide, please take a look on this picture. What you see here is a tank and two pumps. These two pumps, they're a backup system for this tank. I'm going to explain to you now.
Sweet, yeah, I mean, it looks very solid, and also it looks a little bit nicer when it comes to the coloring of the actual product, so that's a big step, I would say. So now that we know what's very special about this item, tell us, Adam, what is it actually good for? Where can our clients and reseller use this product?
Okay, so the main tasks of this device are to control, to optimize, and to save your equipment. Okay, so what does it mean now? To understand these functions, you have to know that this device is all about switching or controlling two loads. Okay, so if you imagine the picture of our first slide, the tank with the two pumps, you could also run this system with only one pump.
I see.
But if the one pump fails, then you risk a total loss of due to standing times.
Oh, wow,
right?
I don't want that.
Okay, so the reason why these guys installed a second pump is that they want to prevent or they want to ensure the productivity on this tank. So now this is the moment where this little device comes into action with all its advantages. So to prevent now the mechanical damage on your main pump, due to long runtime cycles and to prevent the mechanical damage on your backup pump due to long standing times. These guys used this item to equalize the runtime of the two loads by switching them.
I see, okay.
Okay, so the switch can be indicated by different type of switches or another timing relay. So now, if one of the two pumps fail, you can easily switch to the other pump while you're maintaining your broken pump.
Oh, I see.
Okay?
Okay.
So in conclusion, we could say that this little device saves your money by preventing downtimes due to maintenance. You have lower maintenance costs due to alternating loads, and you have a combination device what also saves your money.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so as well as it is in this compact design, it saves also your space in your panel. Okay, so now this is the only the basic to this device, and you can tell us much more about the technical part.
About the technical part, yeah, absolutely. So as Adam already mentioned, this item has the part number E1ZMLA10, and the order code is 110-218. In case you're already eager to order the new device, feel free to go for it. But be aware, there might be a pricing special at the end of the day. We'll see what Adam prepared for us. So what's pretty unique about this ENYA time delay relay and load alternating relay is that it has the LA, the load alternation function, integrated along with the most common on delay and off delay functionalities, right? In addition to those functionalities, which come in one housing, as Adam mentioned already, we don't have this selector switch that you might actually kind of switch accidentally. We have a flat surface, okay? So no accidental switching of your load that might cause some harm or so. And then what's also a big improvement compared to the old outdated bulky item here is that we offer a control and voltage range of 24 to 240 volts AC and DC, right? So instead, especially for resellers, instead of having 5 different items in stock, one for 24 volts AC, one for 24 DC, one for 110 AC, you simply have one relay that covers the whole entire range. And then the same thing is for the functionality, right? No need for an additional timer relay or so. We have a load alternator and timer relay in one housing, right? And especially interesting for energy conscious customer, we have an energy consumption about 1.5 watts, which is up to 7 times lower than our competitors, basically. And then, of course, since we have timing functions integrated in this product, we want to know, is there a timing range that we can deal with? Yes, there is a timing range you can flexibly set from 50 milliseconds all the way to 100 hours of a timing range. All of that in 17.5 millimeters of a housing, so that's super compact compared to everything that's out there. And we also have, of course, our house specialty, our one changeover contact, our SPDT, single pole double throw relay output with this product integrated. Our switching capacity is rated at 8 amps at 250 volts AC at AC1. And of course, we can serve markets globally, really, with all of our certification. CUL US for North America, CE for the whole entire European market, and then also EAC for the Russian export markets, really.
It's pretty nice.
It's pretty nice. So now, before we head on, we'll let this guy here disappear. Yeah, and when it comes to functions and applications, as I mentioned, what could the load alternating functionality be used for? Mainly if you want to have a more efficient and more basically accurate pump or tank controller, for example. It can be used for also drives for fans or for blowers, for example, but also heater elements can be controlled with this device here. And then the on delay functionality is a pretty common, if not the most common, timing function there is out there. You could sequence the start of, for example, AC units, or even sequence the start of machinery equipment in an automated production plant, for example. While on the other end, the off delay for example, keeps the air circulation or your AC unit on after you turn off your machinery. And that's all included with this slim device here. Yeah, so now that we know what it does and what it is, Adam, where can our customers and resellers actually place the product? What's the market for this?
Yeah, as you heard, this product is very flexible and you can use it in many different fields. It really depends on the application. We have customers in all of these fields you can see on this slide, but especially the machine builders, the water supply industries, and the agricultural applications appreciate this product. Okay, so yeah, let's go on to the next slide.
To the real life case studies,
to the real life
right?
case studies.
So yeah, first of all, we hope that you might join our network of applications and case studies when it comes to this very new product. So in case there is something or an application that you can think of, let us know. We're more than happy to put it online, to also promote your company and your application, your customer base. That would also teach us a lot. First application, a remote well control unit or application that was basically installed in Canada, in the territory of Ontario. And now here, the neat thing is that we're controlling a remote well, right? It's on a big dairy farm where the customer, the farmer, had a well unit basically on top of the hill, and then he had a well unit in the barn, in the stable. However, when the kettle was out there during the day, he didn't have problems with the water supply. However, when the kettle and the cows came back in for milking and so on, and also for drinking water, they had a short water supply basically, right? So if the farmer would clean the equipment while the cows were drinking, there was no water left, right? And now with this device, instead of having to have a truck full of water that he had to basically order every day for 150 Canadian dollars, he just used this device to optimize the pump distribution with those well units he had, allowing the wells to kind of fill up the water by itself more sufficiently.
Very nice story.
Absolutely, absolutely. So they're saving the big money out there with more than 50,000 Canadian dollars worth of savings a year. Next example, especially interesting for the utility sector and the water supply for residential communities, for example. We want to make sure that the water level stays at a constant level, and we also want to avoid downtime, right? So what we need to do is actually optimize the runtime of the two pumps that keep the water level of a big tank at a safe level, right? Everything is controlled with a float switch, right? So as soon as the relay that we have receives the float switch input, we make sure that we alternate between those two pumps. And now, not only do we have the automatic mode, the LA functionality with our product, however, if we say, okay, listen, there is some maintenance necessary with one pump, we can manually switch to either one or the other pump, right? So that it doesn't alternate anymore. And now here, the cool thing is, while you're actually working on load 1 or pump 2, for example, you can keep the water level up and running, right? So your customers stay happy and they won't even notice that you're working on their water supply. And that's a pretty big deal out here. And also super interesting is our regular on delay functionality still. As I mentioned, I think that's the most commonly used functionality that we have as a timer relay manufacturer, really. And the neat thing here is you have, for example, a float switch, and this float switch can bump up and down in case there are some waves in the container or you're filling up the water too rapidly. However, if we use a simple on delay, we can kind of debump this float switch, meaning that the first initial contact of that float switch gives us the signal to kind of delay the time when we have to switch or turn on like a machine or a pump or a fan or so, right? And that also avoids the unnecessary the powering on and off of equipment in case there is an unstable water level. And then for the off delay functionality, everyone knows and loves their rolls and bread at the supermarket. So imagine an industrial oven builder, for example, builds an oven and sets 5 minutes on our relay, sets it to the time, to the off delay functionality. And then once everything is in place, the lady or the gentleman that's working with the frozen baked goods just inserts the baked goods, pushes on the button, which gives us the signal, okay, start the baking cycle now. And after 5 minutes, Basically, we turn off the heating elements, and your baked goods and rolls and bread is all ready to eat, right? First, with the integrated switching relay, we have the opportunity to also attach a light indication or similar feedback in addition to the load. So that's also a pretty big advantage. Yeah, so far so good to the applications. I think that was a very...
Okay, so here's one more customer voice, right? We heard this. This is Dylan Brown. He's the master electrician of the dairy farm. We heard from the applications, the real-life applications.
Yeah.
He was really happy about this product because, as we mentioned, he saved like $50,000 a year. So he's really happy about this product, and he can highly recommend it to you all. Yes. And maybe you can be a part of the success story too, and send us your customer voice, your experience with this product. We would be very happy to have that here.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. And yeah, now we just head over to the Q&A section, right?
Yeah.
So in case there is some questions that you have, now is the time to ask us whatever you like. I see there are some that we got in the meantime.
Okay, Daniel. So some questions to you. Can the mode L1, L2 be switched at any time?
So yeah, the mode L1, L2, absolutely. So this is actually the unique thing about actually this product, because if you're used to TELE technology, what we didn't allow you basically in the past is to switch the functionality while you were up and running. Mm-hmm. And now with this item, even though you're connected to the power supply, and for example, you're connected to your load, and you're running on the load alternating function, you can kind of overwrite the LA function and switch to the lock the L1 or L2 load that you have connected. So it's a big deal. So you do not need to actually reset the item anymore. You can just overwrite the functionality, switching to your maintenance mode, for example.
Okay, that's nice. Thank you. What else? What maximum load can be directly switched by the integrated relay?
Yeah, so this integrated relay, as I mentioned before, 8 amps at 250 volts AC is the rated switching capacity. So that's like 2000 VAs that we have integrated here. However, always be aware that you might want to extend your switching capacity if you have some bigger loads, especially connected to the item. But everything that's below 8 amps, we can safely operate at any time.
All right. What about the 3-phase pumps? Would you recommend a power contactor?
I would always recommend a power contactor, especially for 3-phase loads, because you have to deal with the inrush current topic, right? Where the currents, if you start up a pump or so, are up to 5 times higher. And in order to not harm the smart logic and the smart part of your control application, you want to make sure that your contactor or your heavy-duty relay is basically wearing actually doing the hard work, if you want to put it that way. Yeah.
All right. So another technical question, if float switches are operated by waves on the surface, can we set a depump time? And if yes, how to achieve this?
Yeah, so if you want to actually work with a float switch and you have a very kind of crazy water surface that you want to deal with, we would recommend to just select the E functionality, right? That's your on delay functionality. Connect the float switch to the control input of our relay device. And then you can literally select any timing range or kind of debump time from 50 milliseconds all the way to 100 hours, right? So it's for small containers, but also for rather large containers. So that's how you would set it up, really.
All right, thank you. So do we have more questions? Oh yeah. How about costs for the product?
How about costs for the product? Well, interesting question indeed. The reason that we didn't actually add the cost part in the presentation is because we're doing business with more than 50 countries globally, right? So in order for us to present you all the currencies, that will kind of take some time. However, we encourage you to reach out to us or your personal sales representative and get your quote, as you mentioned before, Adam, or even the list pricing. But I can assure you it's a very, very affordable price for the package you're getting there. So just let us know and we'll equip you with the appropriate price for your market.
All right. Thank you.
Always.
Do we have some more questions? Okay. No questions.
No questions left here. Well, yeah, that was pretty much it, Adam. I think we did a great job. We didn't steal so much time from our valued resellers, which is awesome. As we mentioned already, in case you have questions about setup, marketing, project support, if you're thinking of an application, please let us know at any time. Myself and Adam, we're more than happy to help you out with some project-specific quoting. And then a very special thank you also to our team members, Jenny and Christian from the marketing and product management department, who were part of this webinar. So yeah, and together we're basically saying a big thank you. And if you have some more questions about the product, about TELE, about the purchase ordering process and so on, feel free to reach out to us via phone or via email under expert@tele-hase.at. And please also expect some email follow-up from us. Not tomorrow, please make sure you enjoy your weekend, but the coming week. So we'll start into the new week with a lot of power and motivation, right? And if we're waiting patiently enough, who knows, maybe you will also receive a little good package in the mail.
Okay. Good. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you.